Hey there, Station Math students, and welcome to Homework Skills Review number 2. So there are no calculators, and this is a practice problem. So it says find each sum. All we got to do is find common denominators. So for 3/4, I'm going to multiply by 3. And for 2/3, or negative 2/3, I'm going to multiply by 4. So when I get that, I get 9 over 12 plus negative 8 over 12. The negative is important because this is a DSSM, different sign, subtract more. It means 9 minus 8 gives you 1 over 12. C is your answer. Nice and neat, just like I did. Pause this video and try and do number 2 right now. Number 3. All I need to do in number 3 is actually just multiply by 2 on both sides, because if I multiply this guy by 4 and this guy by 8, I'm going to get a big fraction that I actually need to simplify. So the least common denominator is actually 8. So I get my answer, my resulting fractions of negative 14 over 8 plus 11 over 8. And again, this is different signs, subtract more. So I'm really in my head doing 14 minus 11, which is 3, but it's negative 3 because there's more negatives over 8. D is my answer. Pause this video, try and do number 4. Number 5, negative 3 over 2 plus negative 7 over 8. Again, all I need to do is multiply by 4 because the least common denominator is 8, so I don't need to do anything to that one. So I get negative 12 over 8 plus negative 7 over 8. This is actually same signs add keep finally. So when I add them together, I get negative 19, 12 plus 7, right, over 8. So now since that's improper, I got to figure out how many times does 8 go into 19. Goes in there twice with 3 left over. So 2 and 3/8, but remember it was negative, so negative 2 and 3/8. So C. I'd pause this and try and do number 6. So hopefully you've paused just like I've asked you to, and you've gotten problems 2, 4, and 6 correct because you did the work just like I did, and it's nice and neat. I will not accept it if it's not that way. So if you haven't, pause the video again, go back and do them. On number 7 through 10, it says find each product, so we're looking to cross cancel. In number 7, what I can cross cancel is the 2 and the 6. I can divide 2 divided by 2 for 1, 6 divided by 2 becomes 3, and now I simply multiply straight across. I only have one negative, so my answer will be negative. So it will be negative 9 over 5. I ask myself, how many times does 5 go into 9? Goes in there one time with 4 left over. So that is 1 and 4/5. But remember, it's negative, so negative 1 and 4/5. So your answer is C, not B. I would pause and try and do number 8. Number 9. Again, looking to cross cancel. The 7s cross out. They both become 1 because I can divide them both by 1. I multiply straight across. Notice I have 2 negatives this time, so my answer will be positive. I get positive 1 over 6, D, not B, because I had 2 negatives. I would pause and try and do number 10. For number 11 through 14, you want to find each quotient. So remember, we flip and then look to cross cancel. So when I flip, I get 9 over 5 times 2 over 1. There's nothing to cross cancel here, so I just multiply straight across. You get my resulting answer of 18 over 5. So I ask myself, how many times does 5 go into 18? Remember, there's one negative, so this is going to be a negative. 5 goes into 18 3 times, which is 15 with 3 left over. So that's 3 and 3/5. Again, remember there was one negative, so your answer's got to be negative. So A is your answer. I'd pause and try and do number 12. Remember to flip first before you cross cancel. And number 13, we're going to flip. And we're going to get 4 over 5 times 3 over 2. Notice I have 2 negatives, so my answer will be positive. I can cross cancel the 4 and the 2, divide them both by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Multiply straight across, and I get my answer of 6 over 5. It's positive again because there's 2 negatives. So how many times does 5 go into 6? Goes in there one time with 1 left over. So 1 and 1/5, my fault. And again, it's B, not A, because I have 2 negatives, not 1 negative. So same signs positive. I'd pause and try and do number 14. All right, on to the back side. Hopefully you remember this. You're basically trying to create an equivalency table, right? This is number fluency. So for a fraction of 15 over 8, I want a mixed number out of it. How do I do that? 8 goes into 15. 8 goes into 15 one time. Sorry about that. One time with 7 left over. So your mixed number is 1, right? And 7/8. As a decimal, I write my mixed number 1 7/8. I look on my reference sheet. I know that 1 is going to be my whole number. 7/8, I look on my reference sheet. It says 7/8 is 875, right? I double check that on my reference sheet. For the percent, I put 1.875, and I just swoop 2 times to the right, once, twice. So I'm going to give 187.5%. And for taking half, I take my original fraction, 15/8, divide it by 2/1. Remember to flip it. So it's, don't cross cancel yet, 15/8 times 8 times 1/2. So here, now there's nothing to cross cancel. When I multiply straight across to get my answer of 15/16, that is totally simplified. There's nothing to divide there since that's a proper fraction. So my answer is 15/16. You're responsible for this row right here. Number 23, order of operations. Do I see any parentheses? No. Do I see any exponents? No. Now I want to multiply or divide from left to right. So multiplication pops up first as I look left to right. So that's 24. So I have 13 plus 24 minus 25 divided by 5. Now division pops up next, which is all the way at the end here. But I have to do that before I add or subtract. So that is 5. So 13 plus 24 minus 5. So all my multiplication division is gone. Now I'm going to go ahead and add or subtract from left to right. So addition pops up from left to right first. So 13 plus 27 is 37. 13 plus 24, excuse me, is 37. 37 minus 5. And then I'm left with my answer of 32. So that's how your work should look like on number 24. I should not just have an answer. In fact, it's the very same problem with just different numbers. And for these last ones, I'm going to do 8 and 10 for you. Basically, what you want to do is plug in and solve. So A is going to be 4, B is going to be equal to 6, and C is going to be equal to 2. So for AB, that's just going to be 4 parentheses 6. Not 46, but 4 times 6, which your answer is 24. For number 10, it's B squared, so basically they want 6 squared. They do not want 6 times 2, they want 6 times itself. Remember that this is 6 times 6, not 6 times 2. Yes, I want you to write this down, right? So 6 times 6 is 36. Right? You're responsible for number 9. So that's it. Call me if you have questions.